Well, we all have favorite actors, singers, movies, and TV shows that we've loved since we were kids. And today we're going to talk about just that and show you some really cool pictures and talk all about Roy Rogers. Now, Roy Rogers was very influential in the movies and on the radio. He inspired a whole generation of people to want to sing and play music. Now, here he is here in a movie called The Arizona Kid. Now, Roy Rogers was actually born by the name Leonard Sly in 1911 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, here he is here getting held up by a chimpanzee. He told folks later, I didn't even see it coming. But he learned, never to trust, a cute little face. Because the next thing you know, you're handing over your billfold. Here he is with a beautiful leading lady. And he was in about 100 movies over the course of his career.
Amazing.
And you always knew two things were going to happen in a Roy Rogers movie. He was going to get the bad guy, and he was going to get the girl.
That's right.
Now, there's his wife, Dale Evans. And he actually met her on the set of a movie. Mm-hmm. And they started to date, and they fell in love. And the rest is history. Mm-hmm. They had a very long, happy marriage. Now, Roy Rogers would travel the country with his horse Trigger. And he would do rodeos and state fairs all over the country. And he put on quite a show. Now, he was known for singing a song called Happy Trails that his wife, Dale Evans, wrote. That was their theme song. Because they had a TV show back in the 1950s. It was on for quite a while. And it starred Roy, his wife, Dale, and there was a man named Pat Brady. Now, here's Roy and Dale meeting President Reagan back in the 1980s. They certainly were nice people.
Yeah.
I remember we were singing at a place years ago, and this lady came up to us afterward and said that she and her husband had met Roy and Dale when they were camping out in California. And she said they were just the nicest people. Well, Roy Rogers really became a major American cultural icon. And he, representing the Western hero image. He always stood up for the little guy, and he defended people, and he always fought for what was right. And he really embodied, to me, good Christian American values.
That's right.
Yeah, there's his handprints and his boot prints, and that's in the Grauman's Theater out in Hollywood. Now, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, not once, but twice. Once for being in the movies, and then twice for being with Sons of the Pioneers. Now, that's a band he started back in the early 1930s. And he was just known as an overall great guy. And on his TV show, the Roy Rogers Show, they had a Jeep called Nellie Bell that was always breaking down at the worst possible time. And he also had a dog named Bullet.
That's right.
That was a really beautiful German Shepherd. But Roy Rogers, he really inspired a lot of people to get into music.
True.
So did Gene Autry. Because they were in the movies, and all these, especially boys who liked the action-packed westerns, they would go to the movies and see folks like Roy Rogers up on the screen playing his guitar and singing a beautiful song. Well, Margie and I have always loved the great outdoors and seeing the beauty of God's creation. So we'd like to show you some beautiful pictures and talk all about the ocean today. We've always enjoyed going to the beach because we always go in the off-season. I don't like tripping over half-naked people on the beach. I just like walking on the beach when it's kind of cold and there's nobody around.
Right.
So here's some pictures of the ocean. We only go to one at a time, actually.
Right.
I just love seeing the waves, and it's windy. I love seeing all the different kinds of birds.
Oh, yeah.
But the ocean covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. Now, that's a big wave right there.
Yeah.
That makes me think of that show Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah, it does.
Book 'em, Dano. Well, the ocean's divided into 5 main oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Southern, and the Arctic. And there's Flipper saying hello. Hi, Flipper.
Hey, Flipper.
course, the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of all the oceans. Well, what a beautiful sunrise or sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you're in California, it'd be the sunset.
Right.
If you're at Myrtle Beach, that'd be the sunrise.
There you go.
We've been to both, actually.
Yeah.
We used to travel in our camper, and we got to go to Oregon and Washington State.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful out there.
It really is.
And now we live in West Virginia.
That's right.
And we're very thankful to be in West Virginia because our son and his family live here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sailing is a lot of fun. Now, Margie, you had a sailboat when you were young, didn't you?
Yes.
Wow.
My parents, actually. But, it was a lot of fun. It's just so relaxing being on the ocean.
Well, I know it's relaxing, but there's a lot of work to do. You got to raise the mainsail. You got to put up the spinnaker and
Right.
the jig or whatever.
The jib.
The jib. I don't know. I'm a landlubber myself.
Oh, I know. Starboard and port, all that stuff.
I still can't keep those straight.
Right. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. The ocean is so vast.
It really is.
The deepest point in the ocean in the whole world is called the Mariana Trench, and it reaches over 36,000 feet deep.
Wow. It's amazing.
There's some jellyfish. You don't want to get stung by those.
No.
Is there such a thing as a peanut butter fish?
There should be.
That'd make a nice sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, the little pipers.
Yeah. I love sandpipers. They're so much
Oh, me
fun.
too. They are so cool.
I like the way they chase the waves back and forth.
Yeah. There's so many different kinds of life in the ocean. There's tiny plankton, there's giant whales, and this cute turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really neat.
They just glide right through the water.
Yeah. I think they like to ride on the currents.
Yeah, that's right. There are currents that run way down in the oceans, and it just it's amazing how diverse and how many different aspects there are to it.
Yeah.
Well, those lighthouses are cool. Wow. I remember in Maine we saw a bunch of lighthouses.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my guitar again. We saw some lighthouses out in Oregon, too. Mm-hmm. There was one that was right on the cliffs.
Yeah.
And I think they said that you could see it up to 11 miles out in the Pacific.
Amazing.
And I bet that lighthouse, kept a lot of people on course.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely an important job keeping that light going. Well, we all have favorite TV shows and actors or singers or movies that we love, especially ones that we watched and loved as kids. Those things always stick with us. And today we're going to talk about I Love Lucy. That's probably one of the first TV shows I remember seeing. It was in reruns when I was a kid, and I loved that show. She was just so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And here's some pictures of I Love Lucy. Here's the cast. There's Lucy, Ricky, Fred, and Ethel. And Lucy was always getting into some type of, trouble or just trying to scheme a way to get into show business. And, she was such a funny comedian, but she was also a very good actor. And even though after I Love Lucy, I think she did pretty much comedy the rest of her career. But she was actually a dancer and an actress before she got on TV.
Right.
Of course, the man who played Ricky, Desi Arnaz, was her husband in real life. Mm-hmm. And they filmed I Love Lucy in front of a live studio audience, capturing genuine laughter. Mm-hmm. Now, here's Desi Arnaz. He got started as a band leader. He was Cuban, and he had a really great Cuban accent. And they really played that up in the show. But he was actually quite famous as a musician and a band leader. Now, Lucille Ball became the first woman to head a major television studio, and they called it Desilu Productions. And Desi Arnaz pioneered the use of reruns, changing how television shows were distributed. They used to make shows with a certain type of video recording where it wouldn't last very long, but more than a few years.
Yeah.
But filming on 35 millimeter film enabled them to preserve these episodes for generations to come.
That was a good call.
Yeah, that really worked out great because people are still watching I Love Lucy today.
Yeah.
Now, Ricky Ricardo, he had a phrase. He said, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do." Now, here's Lucy with John Wayne. He was a guest star on one of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many episodes were inspired by real-life situations from Lucy and Desi's marriage. I'm not sure what this one came from, but here's Lucy dressed up as Superman or Superwoman with a football helmet and looks like a couple of doves on her, one on her head and one on her shoulder. Now, this little man here, he played their son in the show. He was an actor, and he played little Ricky, little Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah.
I remember he was such a cute little kid. Now, there's Tennessee Ernie Ford. He was a guest star on several of the episodes. He played a character named Cousin Ernie. But Lucy was always getting into something.
That's right.
To me, the show was so upbeat, and it was just a lot of fun. And there was a lot of good music in it, too.
Right.
You know, Ricky was a really good singer. And, of course, Desi Arnaz was a really good singer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I loved Lucy as a kid. And I can still picture me and my brothers sitting in the basement. We had an old black and white TV set that was left over that my dad gave to us to use. And it worked out great because the show was in black and white anyway. I can remember we used to watch shows like, I Love Lucy, The Andy Griffith Show, and what was the other one? Gunsmoke. I remember watching that. A lot of great shows in the past.
Yeah.
Well, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star was written in 1806 as a poem by Jane Taylor. It's based on a French melody that nobody knows how to pronounce. But it's a very, very recognizable song. It's a song babies love.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light. Twinkle, twinkle all the night. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Then the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go if you did not twinkle so. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. In the dark blue sky you keep, often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. As your bright and tiny spark lights the traveler in the dark, though I know not what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
Well, what a great song.
Yeah.
It's so relaxing. I feel like having a warm bottle and just going off to sleep.
That's right.
Well, now, we'd like to take you on a little nature walk. Margie and I have always loved seeing the beauty of God's creation. And today we're going to take you to the Grand Canyon National Park. Now, I do have to ask, please, everybody, keep back from the edge just a little bit. You can see just fine. You don't have to run right up to it. That's what I told the kids. Well, we're going to show you some beautiful pictures. Margie and I got a chance to go to the Grand Canyon maybe about 10 years ago when we were camping. It's such an amazing experience. And if you've been there, you know.
It really
and these
is.
pictures really do show you just how vast it is.
They do.
It's very inspiring to see. There's also a lot of interesting plants. These cactus plants grow there.
Right.
And they have beautiful flowers that come out for just maybe a couple days a year.
That's so true.
Yeah. Well, the Grand Canyon actually is, well, they say it was carved by the Colorado River. And it's way down in the middle there. And it's like 5,000 feet, I think, difference in elevation between the rim and where the river is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go rafting on the Colorado River. And I've never done that. Margie and I have never done that.
No.
It seems to me, well, that's more for the younger set.
That's right.
But it's so different there in the wintertime. Margie and I were there in the winter. And there's Horseshoe Bend. We got to see that.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
That's not really the Grand Canyon. It's a little bit north.
Right.
That's still the Colorado River.
Yeah.
But that's a real easy place to get to. You can drive right into the parking lot. You walk maybe 10 minutes and you're there.
Right.
I think that's what's interesting about the Grand Canyon is that you drive and you drive in there and you can't see anything until you really get there.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you walk out, you get out of your car, and all of a sudden, wow, it's all right there. It really is something worth seeing.
Yes.
The park is so large, it actually creates its own weather patterns, and there can be sudden storms that crop up that they don't see coming.
Huh.
Well, the South Rim is open year-round, and I remember this tower, we got to go up in that.
Yeah.
The North Rim is typically closed in winter because it's actually a lot higher in elevation. I know when we were there, it was closed because it was wintertime and it was all snowed in.
Right.
And there actually are a lot of interesting wildlife there, including the California condors, which we got to see a few of those fly by.
They're
Now,
huge.
they were once nearly extinct, but there was a very successful breeding program out there done by the Park Service and volunteers, which is really great because those are wonderful birds.
Yeah.
They're just huge.
Yeah, they are.
Well, the Grand Canyon is not the deepest canyon in the world, but it's definitely one of the most visually impressive. And I read somewhere that over 5 million people visit the national park there every year, making it one of the most popular parks in America.
I can see why.
Yeah. Well, it's real easy for tour buses to get in, and you can get in and out of it so easily. There are some places, especially in Utah, where it's you have to do a lot of driving, a lot of hiking to get to some of the really scenic spots.
Right.
But the Grand Canyon is real easy. You can drive on a real nice highway, and you can just drive right to the parking lot. I think it was maybe only a couple hundred yards to get to the rim. Well, I just really love, seeing pictures like that. I hope you enjoyed them. Margie and I have a lot of vacation slides that we've taken a million pictures in our travels.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of really fun programs on television, and today we're going to talk about one called The Andy Griffith Show. It was really one of my favorites, probably my favorite show.
Yeah.
I love the Little Opie. I loved Andy and Barney Fife and all the characters. Aunt B.
Oh, yeah.
Aunt B, you have outdone yourself. Outdone yourself. Well, there's Andy.
That's right.
Andy Griffith, of course, he was the sheriff. He played Sheriff Andy Taylor. Now, this show aired from 1960 to 1968, and it became a classic of American TV. And there's little Opie. In fact, that's Ronnie Howard, who played little Opie. And later on, he went on to be a famous actor. Well, he was in a show called Happy Days on TV.
Right. I remember that.
And in the show, Andy had several different love interests, but he never did quite settle down and get married. Yeah. Well, he did toward the end of the series. He married Helen Crump. And there were so many funny situations in the county courthouse there, or in Mayberry.
Right.
Of course, Mayberry, wow, what a great town. Even though it was, fictitious, it was a fictional place. I think all of us wish that we could just pack up and move to Mayberry. Here's a guy here who was running a moonshine still, and Andy's like, you can't be doing this here in Mayberry. And of course, his deputy was named Barney Fife. Now, he was allowed one bullet in his gun only in case of emergency, and he had to keep it in his pocket until it was time to put it in. Of course, he'd be all shaken and nervous by the time when trouble came.
Yeah.
But Don Knotts did a great job playing Barney Fife. Now, the show was known for its gentle humor and focus on small-town values and community.
Right.
But we could sure use a dose of that today.
Oh, that's for sure.
And there's Andy and Barney. And much of the series was filmed in black and white, even as color television became popular. Of course, I think the last year, or two, it was in color. Barney Fife, played by Don Knotts, he won 5 Emmy Awards for his role as Barney Fife. There he is being terrorized by a goat. In fact, the town of Mayberry was actually inspired by Andy Griffith's hometown in North Carolina. I forget what the name of the town actually was. It wasn't Mayberry, but it was something that was, Mayberry
Similar.
was based upon that. I used to know the name of that town. We actually drove through there one time.
Huh.
Now, the show avoided heavy conflict, focusing instead on everyday life lessons and relationships. Now, here's Andy trying out for the city band, and you can tell Gomer and Barney aren't too sure about that. And there's Goober. See, that dog is teaching Goober how to sit up and beg. And Andy is like, Goober, get back to work. Goober worked at the gas station. Yeah. He actually took the place of Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle was the original character that worked at the gas station, the fill-in station. But he went on to his own show, a spin-off series called, it was Gomer Pyle USMC, I think.
Oh.
Yes, he went into the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And he was like, oh my, Shazam! He had a real funny voice. Well, Margie and I have always loved seeing the beauty of God's creation. So we'd like to show you some beautiful pictures and talk all about the coral reef. Now, I've never gone scuba diving, but my older brother has. I remember years ago, he went scuba diving, and I think he went and saw a coral reef.
Yeah, my sisters went together just recently,
too.
Recently?
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I didn't know that. Well, here's some beautiful pictures I'd like to share with you. Here's a really cool-looking turtle.
Wow.
There's some scuba divers.
Yeah.
Now, the coral reef, it's often called the rainforest of the sea because of this incredible biodiversity. There's so many different kinds of plants and animals that are around the reef or growing on the reef. In fact, the coral reef is built by tiny animals called coral polyps that secrete hard calcium carbonate skeletons. Hey, there's Nemo. We finally found Nemo. But most of the coral reefs in the world, they grow in warm, shallow, clear waters where sunlight can reach them. Well, I think that's called is that a lionfish or is it a tigerfish?
Oh, I think it might be a tiger, but I'm not sure.
It could be a bearfish. Oh my.
That's right.
Well, coral reefs support about 25% of all marine species, despite covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. See all these fish and all these cute little critters that they hide in there.
Yeah.
And they can also, they can find things to eat.
Right.
It's a cool looking fish.
Yeah. Wow. Look like flowers.
Yeah, that looks like flowers, doesn't it? Well, the largest reef system in the world is the Great Barrier Reef, and it's even visible from outer space. Now, corals live in a symbiotic relationship with algae called zooxanthella. I think that's how it's said. Because I was hooked on phonics as a kid, so oftentimes I mispronounce words.
That's right.
And that's how they get their energy.
How neat. Looks like another Nemo.
Yeah, that's right. You can see how they're hiding in there. And reefs help protect coastlines by reducing the impact of waves and storms. And in fact, many medicines have been developed from chemicals found in reef organisms.
Wow.
I just love looking at fish. I remember going to an aquarium years ago. I think it was in Utah.
Yeah.
It was near Salt Lake City.
Right.
I think that's a little puffer fish there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think he's all puffed up at the moment.
No. It's a little deflated.
He has such character in his face. Wow, those are beautiful, fish.
Amazing. The
God
color.
made so many different kinds of fish. Yeah.
So creative.
Yeah, just such bright colors. Well, we hope you enjoyed going to the coral reef. I remember as a kid, watching the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. I'm sure you remember seeing that. And that was really a beautiful program. I think it was on maybe once a week or once a month.
So.
I'm not
I
sure.
think it was once a week, yeah.
But my parents used to like watching nature programs on television. So I grew up watching all these wonderful shows that really taught you a lot about the world, about nature.